What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Iliana, and if you're already part of this wonderful family, thank you so much for continuing to watch and to support. So in today's video, I received my Colourpop package right here, and that is the little Baby Yoda, the child palette, which I'm so excited to be using today. So we're going to be doing some swatches, giving it some first impressions, diving into this palette. So today is going to be all about this palette right here. So if you want to know all the details about the palette, make sure we keep on watching. But as always, make sure that you subscribe to my channel, hit that little notification bell so you are notified every single time that I upload. Make sure that you give this video a big thumbs up, and without further ado, let's jump into Baby Yoda. Okay, so I believe the palette did retail for $16. I'll go ahead and leave the price right here. I can't remember off the top of my head, but this is what the palette looks like. It is super cute. It is their standard size for their 9-pan palettes, and I just, like, honestly, I'm not even a Star Wars fan. Like, I don't sit and watch Star Wars, but I recently did start watching The Mandalorian on Disney Plus, and it's not that bad. I think I only watch it just because of Baby Yoda. So I just had to get this palette just because of the packaging. It was immediately just like eye-catching. I think he's so cute. I think Baby Yoda is everything, so that's why I picked up the palette. So like I said, this is the packaging of the palette, and it does come in this little sleeve, which you just kind of slide out like that. So this is the packaging, the same exact thing as the box, but I just think this is so cute. So it does have a mirror in here as well, which is something that most of their palettes do not contain. So these are the shades. Obviously it is very green themed because Baby Yoda is obviously the color green, with a little bit of browns in there, some shimmer shades, just really pretty. So this is something that I pretty much like. I wouldn't be doing green eyeshadow every single day, but I just think that the packaging is super cute, and I don't think I have a green palette, so I think that this is going to be a nice little addition to my collection. And I just love that it has little Baby Yoda on here, and it does say cutest in the galaxy, which I'm just obsessed with. So the back also does have the shade names, which is nice because you kind of just get to see what you're applying on the face. But my biggest thing that I have to say is that I'm just like so impressed with the fact that it does have a mirror inside the actual palette. Obviously you guys know Colourpop has the 9-pan palettes, which are super affordable, super great quality shadows. I absolutely love them. I have a couple, maybe 4 or 5 in my vanity myself that I really do enjoy using. So I really think that the mirror in here was a nice addition because you can just kind of see what you're doing, what colors are placing where, and all that good stuff. So let's jump into these shades. So the first 3 shades that are on top, this is Precious Cargo, which is a nice little shimmer white with it does have a little bit of a yellow reflect in it. I don't know if you guys can see that. And then right next to it is Right Hand Mando, which is short for Mandalorian. This one is a green shimmer. Now this one feels a little bit creamier than that first shimmer, which is this one right here. That's Right Hand Mando. And this last one in this first row, this is a matte shade, which is a brown tone, neutral tone, and this one is just like a, ooh, there's a lot of fallout in there. That is just like a Tatooine, so that is this neutral brown shade right here. So this is the first 3 shades right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and swatch those on the back of my hand. So again, this is Precious Cargo, this is Right Hand Mando, and then this is just a Tatooine. So those are the first 3 shades right there, which are super pretty. Do have 2 shimmer shades, one with a little bit of a gold yellow reflect, the other one has a little bit of a green undertone reflect in there, and then the neutral brown, which is great. You can just kind of throw that into the crease. So going into the second row here, we have again 2 shimmers and 1 matte. So this first one is like a green shimmer. This one is called Sipping Soup. Super pretty. This one I think is the most creamy out of all of them. So that's Sipping Soup right there. Then we have this little mint green shade right here, which is called Baby Face. This one is totally just like Baby Yoda color right there. And then the last shade is called The Force. This one is a very gold shimmer, so this one is very strong gold reflex in there. So again, this is Sipping Soup. This one was Baby Face, which is the Baby Yoda color, which is that one right there. And then we have The Force right there. So obviously those shimmers are very powerful, very beautiful, very shimmery, and that Baby Face color right there, I just love that. I love that mint green. So now dipping into the last row of the palette, we have, again, a little bit of a shimmer. They look like 3 matte shades, but this one has like very tiny, like little reflex of shimmer in there. So that one is called Little Frog. So it is pretty matte for the most part, but it does have a little bit of glittery shimmer in there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but maybe when I swatch it out. So that is Little Frog. And then we have Float Your Crib. I'm sure all of these names have to do with The Mandalorian, but again, I don't really know much of it. I just started watching The Mandalorian, so that's those 2 shades right there. And then this last one is called Droid Protocol. And this one is a little bit more of a brownish, little hint of purple in there, which are those 3 shades. So the swatches are very, very pretty. They are very, very pigmented. Again, swatches don't really justify how it's going to perform. I know that sometimes swatches can be a little bit deceiving, but so far they do look very nice, and I'm excited to play around with these colors. So let's jump into the eyes now. I don't like when my hair is in my face when I am working on my makeup. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the palette. So first I'm going to be dipping into Just Like a Tatoonie, which is this little shade right here. So what I just noticed is that the shade names are on the back, but they are also imprinted on the front of the palette. So that's also nice, a very nice little touch there. But I'm going to jump into Just Like a Tatoonie and start placing that right in the crease. This is blending very nicely though, so like I said, their quality tends to be very, very nice with their shadows. Okay, so now I'm going to be going in with Float Your Crib, which is this shade right here, and I'm going to be taking that and just kind of placing that where I placed that first shade, but just kind of deepening that out. So right underneath, I'm going to take that shade and just kind of start blending it out. So it is super pigmented. I don't want to come off too harsh at the beginning. I'd rather build it. Okay, so now with a flat brush, I'm going to be taking a little bit of that baby face shade, which is the Baby Yoda color. I'm going to be taking that on a flat brush and just kind of placing that right on the lid. There is kickback and fallout with this shade. I wasn't really noticing with the other ones, but there is a little bit of fallout. Just be careful. Now normally I do my eyes before I do my face. Having this mirror right here inside the palette is very, very helpful. So I really like that they added that into the palette. Okay, so now I want to take a little bit of this bottom shade right here. Now this one is the one that I said was a little bit more matte with small little particles, shimmer particles in it. So I'm going to take that on the other side of my flat brush, and I'm going to just place that where those two kind of meet to make the transition a little bit more seamless. Maybe throw in a little bit of the Sipping Soup shade as well. Okay, so I'm going to take a very little small fluffer brush like this. I'm going to take this Precious Cargo shade right here, which is the lightest shade, and I'm going to use that to highlight the brow bone, and I'm also going to throw that inside the inner corner of the eye. That is super pretty. Now this shade is a little bit more on the chunkier glitter side, so if you're not a fan of that, you might not like this shade, but it does look pretty. All right, now with a little bit of an itty bitty brush, I'm gonna go ahead and place that same Precious Cargo right in the inner corner. So this Precious Cargo shade is a little hard to work with. It was blending nice underneath the brow bone, but placing it in the inner corner is a little bit harder to work with, but we're gonna make it work. Okay, so since that one was a little hard to work with, I'm gonna go ahead and take Right Hand Mando, which is this next shimmer shade, and I'm gonna place that in the inner corner. See if that does anything. Oh yeah, such a huge difference. That first shade was a little So I'm gonna go ahead and finish the other eye and throw on some lashes, and then we'll come back and talk about the palette. Okay, so I went ahead and I finished the other eye, throw on some lashes. So in my lash line, I did throw in this Colourpop BFF Cream Gel Liner. So it's a little bit of a like metallic liner, and I just kind of threw that in the lash line. I did throw on my lashes, and I am using the Novalet These are in the style Lily, so I will leave them linked down below because I usually have people asking me about the other stuff that I'm wearing on my face. Okay, so now talking about the actual child palette from Colourpop. Overall, I would give this a rating of a B. Now, the reason I give it a B is because of a couple of things. Now, usually I do tend to do my eyes before I do the rest of my face. That's just how my makeup routine works. That's just because sometimes I have fallout and things like that. However, there was a lot of fallout in the palette. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna keep it real with you guys, but there was a lot of fallout. There was a lot of kickback also in the palette. The Precious Cargo shade that you guys did see me trying to put into my inner corners didn't really work out like I wanted it to. It's not as creamy as I wanted it to be. It's a pretty shade, don't get me wrong. I did put it in my brow bone area and it did blend out pretty nice there, but when I put it in my inner corner, it didn't really come out as much. That's why I ended up going in with this shade right here, which is the Right Hand Mando. So overall, I do really like the palette. I do think the concept is super, super cute. I like the packaging. I like the fact that they threw a mirror in there, which is all plus for me. Now, speaking on the actual performance of the shadows, I do think that they overall did really nice. So every single shadow that I placed on my eyes today was very nice. It blended very nicely. It blended seamlessly. There was no patchiness. There was no, rough spots with the eyeshadows at all. The only thing that, like I said, was this Precious Cargo shade. That one just has me on the fence. But other than that, I really do like the palette. I think that it's cute. I think it's affordable. I love the concept that Colourpop did with the Mandalorian Child palette. So I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope that you guys subscribe before leaving. Leave me a thumbs up down below and a comment so I know that you guys are watching. Those really help my videos a lot. And I will see you guys in my next video. Ciao.